Dan, it's good to have you. Can Bitcoin get its luster back?
Not in the near term, so thanks for having me. Always great to be on your show. Look, the survey that we did actually coincides with real-time data that we get about the actual trading volumes on Coinbase, and you were right. What we're seeing is following the peak in early May, you're seeing a downward trend in volumes for crypto and specifically for Bitcoin. And what we're seeing is something that reminds us of like 2018 when we had that last big crypto winter when Bitcoin went sub 5,000. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We're seeing lack of interest in trading for Bitcoin. And that's what came out of the survey that we did yesterday.
Wow. So lack of interest, does that mean that the buyers are going elsewhere? Are they in Ether? Are they in DOGE? Are they in,
Yeah.
or have they been flushed out of the space altogether?
I know. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think Bitcoin at the end of the day is everything, right? So whatever happens outside of Bitcoin is kind of like ancillary, and I can't really explain it. But our survey was specifically on Bitcoin. So what we saw is that 50% of the people, 50, said that they don't intend to buy or sell their Bitcoin anytime soon. They want to hold it. And, while there are more buyers than sellers, so 32% said that they're going to buy, 17% said that they're going to sell, the upside seems limited. So the average price that people expect Bitcoin to be by the end of the year is $42,000. Remember, in January or February, people were talking about $100,000 Bitcoin at the end of the year. That's no longer happening. So that kind of lack of volatility is probably the first sign of the so-called crypto winter. And I think the probability of it is getting higher. Now, whether people are going to Dogecoin or Ethereum, that's a great question. Probably some of that too. But at the end of the day, if Bitcoin doesn't work, nothing really works.
Let's talk a little bit more about Coinbase. What are the implications for Coinbase, a stock that has been, well, as volatile in a way as Bitcoin itself has been since it came out earlier this year? You think it is actually going to go down from its current price?
100%. So we have a $225 price target. I think it's coming down. And the reason for that, the number one, and that's what people have to understand, the number one driver of revenue for Coinbase is not the price of Bitcoin. Of course, it has it's a factor as well. It's the volatility. It's how many times people want to buy or sell Bitcoin or other crypto. So if you're entering some sort of a crypto winter, then people are not trading, they're not buying, they're not selling, and then Coinbase makes less revenue. So there's a direct implication. There's a point, I think 8 or 9 R squared between the price of Bitcoin and the actual trading volumes on Coinbase. So once that comes down, people kind of shy away from buying or selling. They're on the fence. The revenue goes down, and that's our thesis that the monthly users are actually going to end the year towards the low end of the guidance, which is sort of that crypto winter scenario. So for Coinbase.
Right now, your study indicates that about half of Bitcoin owners are just going to sit there and do nothing. 32% are going to add, they say, about 17% plan to sell. That's basically a 50-50 split. What ratio would be better for Coinbase? Would you like to see, if you were a bull on Coinbase, would you like to see that ratio closer to 75% either plan to add or sell?
Correct. You want to see two things. You want to see more people wanting to buy versus people that are wanting to hold. But the more important thing is you want to see people's expectations of the price of Bitcoin, so the dream, to be higher. So if you think about that kind of expected value of Bitcoin by the end of the year, again, this is as of the survey at 42,000, that's only like, a few percentage points above where Bitcoin is trading today. So that means that there's like limited upside to Bitcoin and reluctance to trade it. And that combination could be pretty lethal for volatility.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.